Are we recording?
Yeah, we are. Welcome back, everybody,
Live.
to Popular Properties Podcast. PopPropPod.
Cast time.
I don't know what.
I believe this
number
is
we
number.
are.
Oh my god! I was thinking the same thing.
I should have checked beforehand.
I'm guessing
we're on number 8
No,
or 5 or number 4. No,
3.
we're definitely not number 4, dude.
we're number 5.
I think we're number 5.
We are
like
number.
officially number 5. Realistically, we've done this so much, but there were so many that were not used.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So good times.
Welcome to number 5 PPP, everyone.
Yeah.
We're real excited. The world is changing all around us, and we're happy to be part of it. Let me tell you, the hot topic is what's going on with interest rates. I'd have to say, going into 2024. How about you? You think the same thing? What are you thinking?
Oh, they're probably going down, dude.
Going down. Wow.
Yeah, they're going down into 2024.
Wow.
Hopefully, we're going to see like 4% by the end of the year.
What? That would be amazing. You know what happened to this economy? Take off.
You know what's going to be crazy is trying to buy a house in that. It's going to be so
It's going to be
insane,
literally
dude.
impossible.
Yeah.
I have to be honest with you. There was, some memes out there. They were showing some of the, it was like an interest rate, and it was like a house, and the house was running, and they were showing one person chasing the house at like 7%, and then at like 6%, there was like 10 people chasing the house. And then at like 4.5%, there was like 1,000 people chasing this house.
Yeah.
And that was literally, they were making fun of the fact of what's
Dude,
happening
it sucks. I
in
mean,
24.
like, honestly, you could have bought, like, say you were shopping in 2022, or beginning in 2022, when interest rates were still low. You were shopping for something in the 500 range. And this year came around, now you were only approved for like 350 to 400. I honestly think that it would have been beneficial to still buy that property and then sell it next year when everyone, right, is now competing for that again. Because there was a bunch of people, right, when you were approved for your 500K, there was a bunch of people who were only approved for 350 or 400, and now they were pushed all the way out. They had no options, right? So you selling that home is probably going to be, it's going to go for a little bit. It's a lot higher than I think than you would have bought it.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, the question is, you would know more than I do. What's up with like the taxes on that? Like if they bought it and they sold it, and they're trying to get into another property.
Well, the way that works is if it's a primary residence, you really don't have to worry about the tax implications too much if you're moving from one house to the next. If it's not your primary residence, then obviously there can be some tax implications if you do it less than 18 months.
Okay.
If you do anything less than 18 months as an investor, right, the government looks at it as regular income. You are a real estate investor, and how you make your income is buying and selling real estate. You may also have another job on the side, but whatever, you're making income, and that's your job. And so they tax you at the regular, 36%.
Mm-hmm.
And but if it's over 18 months and it's an investment property, then you go into other issues. So it's a long-term investment property.
So what you're saying is that in that scenario, somebody bought either late last year or sometime this year. Once interest rates drops, they could definitely sell it. And like I said, you're talking about at least 20% increase in like buyer demand.
Right. The way that works is
we were down.
Yeah.
The highest we were down was like by 35%. I think a dip in sales activity. So you're talking about a ton more people. Just thousands more people who are now interested in
if it's your primary residence, just say you have a gain. You found another house to buy and it's less than the other house that you're selling, right? And you worry that you're going to get taxed on the difference. So the way that works is if it's your primary residence, each individual gets up to $500,000 of tax-free income on gain on your primary residence. You have to live there typically, more than 18 months to really take advantage of that.
Okay.
You can't just jump around like a fish and make all this income, because the government's going to say, look at all this extra income you're making. You are a real estate investor. If it's a one move type thing, it's one thing. But if it's a multiple moves in a short period of time, over like a 3 or 4 year period of time, then they're going to hit you with taxes. Yeah. That's what you do. You're going to make good income. There's no doubt. So you may have to pay a little bit in taxes. But the play would be to buy a property. If you bought something in 2022 and you're selling it now, 2 years later, 18 months later, it's your primary residence, you'll have no trouble if you make less than 500,000 in gain on that.
Yeah,
so
you're gonna be
I
fine.
don't think anybody.
Much, dude.
I don't think anybody's gonna have that problem. And if you do, mazel, right? What they say, good job. Congratulations.
Hey, one of our new agents just onboarded.
Yes,
with Nadia.
Excellent.
So fantastic. Sales team is growing.
Doing really good with the sales team. I'm really happy we've made a nice conscious shift to have a rental team and a sales team in the office. I think it's going to make a big difference as far as our focus on them and also keeping them focused.
Yeah, the training's going fantastic.
Yeah,
man.
really
The goal
good.
is to, make them top producers within their, in year 2 of their career.
Yeah.
And of them doing sales.
Got to get them out in the
field. Should be
field.
Relatively easy, man, because so many of you agents are bums, dude.
Yeah. Well,
sorry to say it, man, but I mean,
we offer
we
such
do have
amazing stuff. Let's face it. I mean, we have a manual. We have onboarding manuals. We have a core manual for rentals and sales. We're providing. How many weeks is your sales training program?
So we have the 101, which just teaches you the basics, proper work schedules and follow-up times and lead generations, all that stuff. Just the 101, the basic stuff, is a quarter long, right? We do 4 primary classes and then 2 months of a class a week for your first month, and then 2 months of you implementing all those stuff. In your second quarter of working, right, in month 4, we have a discussion. We say whether or not you want to go to the next level, which is when we start working with investors, doing investor analytics, doing neighborhood takeovers, where your main goal would be to be the number one agent in your neighborhood by acquiring, all the real estate knowledge that you can about it, right?
Be the expert.
Yeah, be the expert, the actual data-driven expert,
the
right?
go-to person that anyone in the community could go
exactly,
to.
Exactly. I show them how to cold call to build relationships over cold calling to sell a home, right?
And they're understanding price per square footage and what the value of the actual property is.
And the neighborhood history is so important for me, right? To have an agent that understands how that neighborhood has reacted during dips in the real estate market is very, very important, because I think that's the number one question that people have. Should I wait until prices drop? All right, well, let's see if you were targeting this neighborhood, how long were prices dropped for? Right. I mean, in Boston, you're talking about a couple months. Right. I think the longest streak was maybe 2 years, right? Yeah. In 09 and 010. But quick recoveries, dude.
Boston's just amazing town. It's got so much to offer it. So it really doesn't have the same dip issues with the economy that other parts of the country have.
Yeah.
Because of the
our market's driven.
We have about 5 industries that really make it a stronghold. Besides the entertainment, and we love the Bruins and the Celtics. They bring in people all the time, and there's constant tourism dollars coming in and out of this city because of the sports events. But there's just so many other things going on in Boston, with the universities being a stronghold here, the medical communities being a stronghold here, and it's got a huge mutual fund market. Mm-hmm. It's huge here. The financial sectors as well is good. So that's all pulling to breathe this economy here in Boston. So Boston doesn't have the issues that maybe someplace in Oklahoma may have. You know what I mean? It's just a different animal.
Yeah, that's why I specialize in Boston real estate.
Yes,
that's what I've been analyzing for years now is Boston real estate. Not any towns outside the city. So when someone asks me about their specialty, is is this a secure market outside? I can't necessarily answer those, right? It's very, very different. I mean, I think everywhere is going to go up. Yeah. Once rates drop, everywhere is going to be fine. But I just can't professionally tell you 100% that this place is good. Randolph, I don't know Randolph, dude.
Well, give us a call and we can help you do that.
Yeah, but we got somebody who knows Randolph, right? We
know Randolph, right?
Yeah,
we can take care of you. That's for sure. One thing I would like to go over today is a hot topic in today's market that maybe a lot of people don't know about. A tip for all the listeners out there, I guess you would call us, or all the watchers out there, and that is what's called buying down your mortgage.
Wait, hold on, dude. Why do people think that like you're locked into your rates?
Well, they're foolish. I
Right?
used to,
Because like we
I
had
used to
that
laugh
one
at people
person
getting
who
the
was
30
like,
years.
"Hey, listen, you're paying 8% over 30 years. Like you don't know what refinancing
Dude,
is. Why are you trying
I'm not
to give
kidding. For
people
like
advice
20
if you don't know what
years, I had a
refinancing
1 year
is?"
arm, and I loved it. It went woo, and went down. Once in a while, it went up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it went up at the very end, but I rode that sucker for like 17, 18 years on my home. It was just ridiculous because it just kept going down. And I loved it. Everybody else was locked into these higher rates. They didn't want to deal with refinancing. I didn't have to deal with refinancing. It just kept moving with the market.
Yeah.
How bad was the market in the last 20 years? Not so bad.
And if it did start going up, all you needed to do was refinance into
Correct.
like a long-term loan.
Yeah.
So it was
you
fine.
always could jump out, and it's
Fools.
a great way. They just I saved so much interest. Thank you very much. But there's a new thing out there that a lot of people don't know about, and I thought I'd share it with today's podcast.
Yeah, let's talk about
something called buying down your mortgage. Now, buying down a mortgage is something that could be negotiated with any one of our agents, and maybe your agent out there, with the seller of the home. And what I'm going by that, and it could be by the borrower could also buy down the mortgage, but I'm talking about, say the seller really would like to sell the house, and the buyer of the house really wants to buy the house. I have a green light. You have a white light.
I was just checking because my microphone was going off.
Shoot.
Oh no,
Okay.
I was monitoring.
And so you
go
want to, the person wants to buy, the person wants to sell. You start negotiating, and unfortunately, the seller's on a certain price. Let's say it's $400, and the buyer can only afford with their income and their expenses and all the calculations, can only get up to maybe $380. Okay, can't get to that 400 mark. Can't get the loan amount up to that point because of the payments a little high. Okay, or maybe the customer doesn't like the high payment right now at the 6.5 rate that she's offered. She wants to wait till it's 5.5. So what the seller of the home could do is offer a percentage on the deal. Let's say it's like 2 or 3%. Say it's 2 points on a $400,000 deal. It'd be about $8,000, and they literally buy down the rate on that mortgage. So it's the the home borrower doesn't have to pay that high interest rate for the first like 5 or 6 years. It reduces the payment instantly.
So is this like the 3-2-1 buy down where you're buying it down like
similar to that. I mean,
over the course of a few years you're brought down, or are you knocking down those interest rates for the remainder of the
Every lender has a different way you can do it pretty much, but for the most part, you're let's say the first 5 or 6 years he's paying down your rate. So he's like prepaying some of that to get your rate down, to get you actually can qualify at a better rate and better terms because you have that buy down. So it's kind of a hot topic. I've had 2 or 3 deals over the past 2 weeks where we were close and we just couldn't get the borrower to the number because they're, whatever constraints they were on. They already had a car loan or whatever, and it just couldn't work out, student loans, that we need to get them up there. And the loan officers will see if the homeowner, the seller of the house, will offer to pay down a little bit for the borrower to get him in the house. Now, why would someone do that? Well, maybe they'd like to sell the house. Maybe it's an estate sale and the family would like, we'll kick it a few bucks for the borrower because we want this guy to take over grandma's house. Maybe the family would do that as a gift, to maybe make the deal happen, to get the borrower to the higher price point that you're looking for to sell their house. At the end of the day, are you still getting the money you wanted? Probably. You can figure it out. I'm sure you can work those numbers in. But the point is that the home borrower is getting in there.
Sorry, I don't know if the dog is like, if that noise was being picked up by the microphone or not, dude.
It's all right.
Thor, are you okay, buddy? You good? What's wrong?
What's wrong? So you want to visit us? You can visit us. So it's called buying down the mortgage. So anytime you're having trouble or, there's different things that you can do today. There's a lot of sellers of homes offering to pay to do a buy down. There's people offering to do do repairs on the home to get the house sold. There are sellers offering to do different things to help get the borrower into the house. To be a little more lenient than they were the previous years. They're allowing home inspections.
Yeah, but that's not going to last for long.
No.
If rates are dipping, dude.
No.
We're at 7.8 04 or 06 right now.
Right.
So we're pretty close to high sixes again.
You are. And I do know some lenders that you can get in the 6s. So give us a call.
Yeah.
I do know some. But
Yeah.
the average rates are over a 7. And if you're getting that at a higher rate, please call us. We can help you.
Yeah. Also,
For
the
sure.
average rates, right? Like you see an average rate online.
Yeah.
That's typically for someone who has like a 640
Right.
credit score, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not. That's not. If you have a higher credit score,
Yeah.
you
If you're a
should be
super
in the
dude and
sixes.
you're in the 800s or whatever.
You should be in the high sixes,
Yeah.
honestly, right now. So here's a question for you. Do you think I already know my response, but do you think it's worth waiting until rates dip further?
Well,
Until is it what I'm asking, is it worth someone picking up their search right now or waiting until, let's say, May when rates are in the low sixes?
well, I would refer to my old economics teacher, Mr. Principe, back in high school.
Shout out Mr. Principe.
Yo, Mr. Principe. Supply and demand. Economics 101, supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
People are going to go crazy. There's been a lot of people on the fence the last 2 years, right? And as rates dip down, things have changed. Okay, life aren't the same as COVID. Pre-COVID, post-COVID, it's gone now, right? I mean, as far as people have moved out of that mindset. So people are moving they're moving on in their lives and doing different things. So some of them been on the fence the last 2-3 years.
Not just on the fence, they've been preparing,
yeah.
fixing their credit, saving their money.
All of that thing.
You have 2 years of competition, man.
And just think
2 years
about
of competition.
if
that you
you're
guys are
looking
about
for a
to go
house
up
right
against.
now and you're like out looking, and then all of a sudden rates drop and you're going from a 3-bed to a 4-bed.
Yeah.
And now you can afford, because of rates dropping, the payment's less, so now it's less hit on your income, right? So now you can afford that $400,000 house. Before you were in like the 350 range because rates were so high, you were in the 350 range. But now at the 400 range, you can make it happen, and now it opens all these new homes for you. Now your family's in a different neighborhood, everything's changed. You don't have a guest room you didn't have before. All of this is happening because rates change. So that's gonna just make everyone go nutso.
Yeah.
I really think so. And there's no reason why you can't date the rate and marry the house. That's what we like to say.
Yeah. Again, people thinking that once you sign
Yeah,
that
just
contract,
get
you're
the
stuck in
house.
that rate. Dude.
You got the house. That's cool. You can
Yeah.
always refinance the rate.
I
In
think
fact,
there's still companies who are offering free refis.
within the first 3 years, they'll change that for you for no charge.
Come on, man. Come on.
It's a no-brainer, as they would say.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
still negotiate something with the seller to pay it down a little bit and maybe
Yeah.
get some closing costs.
Like
They're-
I said,
they're doing that
the
as well.
only issue was the affordability, like the price targets.
Yeah.
Now, like it wasn't a question of whether or not you should buy. Absolutely, anybody who could afford to buy should buy.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
That's
it's
hot
just
tip number 1 for today's
yeah,
podcast. Hot tip number 1: buy now, don't wait.
yeah.
Okay, hot
If you
tip
can
number 1.
afford it, do it.
Now,
Nike it up, dude.
I'd like to see if we could talk a little bit about a neighborhood. I think we should talk about.
Wait.
what-
Could I
Yeah,
say
go
something
ahead.
real quick?
Yeah, yeah, go
So I went to that Renaissance fair,
yes,
fucking
yes.
King Richard's fair.
Yes.
Spent like
It's
crazy
hysterical.
amount of money, dude.
Of course you did. You probably have some stuff you'll never use ever again. But
Fuck yeah, that dragon egg bag over there, dude. There's a drinking horn up there.
Yeah, I mean, they saw
but
you
I'm
coming.
going back, homie.
Tourist.
I'm going back, so I'm bringing all that stuff with me. That's
Wow,
like
you're
my dice
hysterical.
bag and everything, dude.
All right.
But so on my way out, I signed up for a raffle
Yeah.
with in-season resorts down in
You have
Falmouth.
a thing with raffles.
Yeah, but I won. Yeah.
It's the second
I won,
time
like-
I've heard you
I-
winning a raffle. Okay,
I
within
won
like a year.
5-night stay at any tourist class hotel.
See, this is why your girlfriend likes you, because you win raffles. I mean,
Yeah.
you won her raffle, you got her. So I mean, geez, man, I can't believe it.
Yeah,
Wow.
dude, I was so pumped.
That's
It was
amazing.
literally like the day after I
Wow.
come back from Alabama. After I come back from the fishing trip, dude, they call me. They're like, "Hey, yeah, just wanted to let you know you won our biggest prize."
It's not one of those fake things that they're giving you a
Oh no,
timeshare.
it's definitely
Okay, good.
it's definitely I have to go down and like receive my prize. So
That's
they're
great.
gonna try to sell me a timeshare.
All right, definitely.
But It's not like I'm gonna fucking buy
Okay.
one. I sell actual real estate, dude.
Just tell me you gotta check with your mother first. You're like, oh, I would really do it, but my mother's got all my money. I'm sorry.
They had to validate that I made over the average medium income, though.
Right. That's what concerns me.
They were like, hey, listen, we want to make sure that you're paid. Can you
That
send over
concerns me. All right. Tip number 2: do not buy a timeshare.
That's
Tip number 2.
That's super.
If you want to buy a
super
timeshare,
tips.
give us a call. We have better things to do with your money. Tip number 3.
Yeah.
Tracy. Tip number 3. I want to talk about a neighborhood that I think has really changed over the last, say, 3 to 5 years. And I speak by experience. I've had homes listed there. I've sold homes. And that's the Hyde Park neighborhood of Boston.
Oh, solid, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we want to do a spotlight over there.
We should definitely spotlight that
with
thing.
the new rig, dude. I just got the
I
Webuild
loving
thingy.
it.
Oh,
no
man,
shaky,
I'm so excited.
shaky. And, yeah, we got the stabilizer, so we should be good.
Yeah, I might want to reshoot JP just because I got that, dude.
We could do it. There's so much we can do for JP. I would actually like to go around the pond and do it. When people be jogging, we can even do
we
it.
Can walk around.
We could interview somebody.
Walk around the pond, park and walk, dude.
That would be cool to show people the pond because it's beautiful over there. Besides the fishing and the jogging, and there's like swans over there. It's like craziness. Yeah. It's just getting down with nature right in the middle of the city.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing to have there. I'm sorry I keep on. My ADD's crazy. So Hyde Park.
Hyde Park. Let's talk about Hyde Park. The reason why I'm talking about Hyde Park particularly is because I have a showing tomorrow, actually, in Hyde Park.
Yeah.
I'm showing a single family for $658,000, and I'm saying to myself, "Wow, that looks very similar to some that I've sold in the 480s, and some that I've sold in 520s, just like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
and now I'm showing it in the high sixes. So, I thought that was an interesting fun fact about how well Hyde Park is doing. It's a great community right near the city. It's T accessible. It's got a lot of parks. It's got, a lot. It's got a little downtown even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little square. It is pretty nice, man. And I mean, so the rents have gone up a decent amount over there.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I think in 2020, rents over there were about $1,700 for 2 beds. Now you're looking at $2,200 to $2,400. Yeah. So it's a pretty good jump, and that's with like Boston Housing Authority's payment standards, right?
I was going to say more like 27.
That and Mattapan were the last neighborhoods to like jump up in pricing. Right. So yeah, there's definitely upward motion.
It's got a great community feel.
Mm-hmm.
There's different cultural things they do and different community things they do in the square. I mean, they do I think a farmer's market there.
Yeah.
In the summer times, and they've had flea markets and different things on the weekends there. So it's pretty fun, and I know they decorate the town, for Halloween and different Christmas and different events. So I think it's kind of really neat.
Yeah, if they could extend the orange line through it, that would blow things up over there. I mean, it already has a commuter rail.
Yeah, it's got the commuter rails. There's rumors just going out there.
Yeah.
And but I mean, this is a community where you're going to get a house. And, in the sixes, you're going to have a driveway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And a yard.
A yard.
Front and back, dude.
It's a different lifestyle than
it's not
other
too far
parts
away
of
from the city, dude.
No, you're very quick. The city, you jump on different, there's the VFW parkways there. There's the 203. There's different little routes that can take you in and out of there pretty quickly. And, you still can get a home. You still can get a multifamily under $1 million. You know what I mean? You get yourself a 3-family over there in that range, maybe 900, 800. You can get a multifamily over there. And you can, maybe the rent's at $2,400 now, but I would say within 2 or 3 years, you're going to be looking at $3,000 a unit. If you have a 3-family, you're looking at about $9,000 a month rental income.
Yeah.
For something you can buy $1 million today, that's a great, that's a 10% cap.
Dude, I'm sure in a few years, they're going to be right over that $1 million mark for the multis again.
Absolutely.
As I don't know if y'all met my dogs. This one's Sugar. The one earlier was Thor. And we got Oreo the kitty somewhere lurking about. Oh, I see her. She's.
But each week we should definitely talk about one of the cool parts of Boston and the surrounding communities that we feel are up and coming, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's a good subject matter to talk about. Some people want to know that, and I'm really happy to give it to you guys. Mm-hmm. That's some of the insight that we have out there that people don't know. Sometimes they go in the market, they don't know where to look. What part of the city should I start with? Where should I go? and that's why it's great to talk to a professional, talk to a realtor, because you could waste a lot of time. You could buy the wrong property and not like it, and have wrong access to the trains, for instance.
Yeah.
Like if you really have to be on the commuter rail, you need to be close to a commuter rail. Maybe you're going out to Waltham twice a week. Maybe you're going to different places. Maybe you go out to Framingham once in a while to see your mother or something. What's going on? What do you need? I have a friend who comes over to my house. I live in Framingham. He's got to take 2 trains and a bus and blah, blah, blah to get to my house in Framingham,
Yeah.
So everyone's different, if you have desires and you want to have a yard and you want to be maybe you need to talk to a broker to help you put you in that direction. Maybe Watertown's a great place for you. You never know.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of, a lot of things that we can help out with in terms of finding the right place if you're unfamiliar with it. And if you're familiar with, what neighborhood you exactly want to be a part of, if you could find a agent that specializes in that neighborhood that's very well connected, you should try working with that person. Because, it's the old saying, you don't go to a bricklayer for jewelry advice.
No, you do not. That would not be the right thing. Although there are people who do get advice from the bricklayers on real estate. That is for sure.
Yeah.
The Christmas and holiday season is in front of us. And 2024 New Year's is what? Just 3 weeks away.
It's under a month away, dude.
3 weeks away. So
recording this on the 7th?
I would tell you that overall, just my experience, rentals and sales. I used to tell people for apartment rentals all the time, if you need an apartment rental, if you look around the holidays, you get your best deals because nobody wants to move. And if a landlord has a place available, he'll cut you a deal for that place.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on. So if you're looking for a February rental and you're saying, maybe I can move a little early, talk to a broker on one of these rentals because anything available right now, they'll cut you a great deal. You can move in a few weeks early.
Yeah, you should be able to get something.
Yeah, and get a great deal, maybe a few $100s off the rent. Now's the time to talk to an agent. And the same thing goes for sales because people are really, you're dealing with your shopping, you're dealing with your in-laws coming in. You're not necessarily focusing on buying a home right now.
Yeah, most people are cashed out, dude.
So they're like, let me just wait.
Most people are cashed out.
So maybe you take advantage of that seller who really wants to close the deal.
Yeah, that's the exact same thing for sales.
Wants to write something. You don't have to close by the end of the year, but maybe he just wants to have it written up by the end of the year so he knows where he's going. Close in the middle of January, okay? But get the deal done now. You're going to have a much better Christmas knowing you got a new crib to live in.
Yeah. Speaking of, if we could just backtrack a little bit, when we were talking about getting some sellers that are motivated and want to help out their buyers or whatever, to find those deals, guys, target older listings.
Absolutely.
Do not do this.
Don't do the within 4 days they've just listed because the open house is tomorrow and it's going to sell. Don't waste your time.
I don't know why. Listen. Any agent worth their salt is going to price a property correctly, right? You can trust that the listing agent had some sort of influence in saying that this is the appropriate price. Now, granted, there are obviously properties that are overpriced.
Yes.
Right? But typically you won't find that out until 2 weeks of being on the market. I don't ever advise any of my sellers to take anything less than the asking price if we haven't spent, 14 days on the market.
At least, yeah.
So someone who's going in there and you're just wasting your time, the agent's time, the seller's time, everyone's time. If you had to get
be honest with you, sometimes there are people who show up day 5 and they're still getting themselves pre-approved and they're still getting grandma to come look at the house. And it may be to day 14 or 15 before they write the offer up.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why you're not taking a deal the first 4 days on, a ridiculous deal. Because you need needs time to, simmer.
In the market. Your buyers need to mature a little bit to ease into that.
Yeah, the house
purchase.
has to get into the market.
Yeah.
It hasn't even hit. In fact, the first 3 days, it barely hits all the websites. I want to say that MLS now sends out your listing to thousands of websites, and it takes a certain amount of days before they all get updated and all get the data out there.
It's syndicated properly.
Yeah. So, maybe the first week, not everyone's even seen it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, there's people who only are picking up their search once a week.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
they only get drip camera cans once a week on what's the new stuff that came out.
Yeah, absolutely. You should not accept anything less than your asking price within the first 2 weeks of being on market. It's just
that being said,
unless you
now
know
it's
for
30
a fact
days,
you're overpriced,
and your broker should be coming to you saying, "We need a price reduction."
Yeah.
Okay. If you have
Here's
a property
our new
on
action
the
plan.
market, and every 30 days you need a price reduction until you hit to where you can sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's not selling, it's a price point issue. It's either going to be price point or there's another factor that's scaring
the
people.
Marketing of the property. Typically,
that could be too, but
dude, you know what we should do? We should do a little series of terrible real estate agents in
That'd be
Boston,
awesome.
right? Where we just look at their shitty pictures.
Oh my God.
And just say, look at this cloud, bro.
When you see some of these pictures, when there's like pictures of pictures, I saw this clown.
$1 million
I swear to God,
properties with your iPhone 10.
It was $1 million
dude.
multifamily, and he literally took the pictures from getting them printed at CVS from 1984 type. Take a picture.
And he scanned a Polaroid.
He literally took a picture. No, he took a picture of the picture on his desk. And that was the photo in MLS. I was like, really? Wow, that is amazing. Way to go.
Yeah, it's fantastic, man. I mean, it's amazing.
They were all like folded and they were like old pictures. It was like this. What happens? I know what happened though. Every time I go list a house, sometimes it's people from the 80s, and I list a house and they talk to me and they go, "Oh, you're going to take my house? I have some of these great pictures." And they want to give me pictures of their house when I go to their house from when the flower bed was in bloom like 7 years ago. And I'm like, "Oh, thank you very much." And I, normally have them. Rarely do we use those pictures on the MLS listing. This is like, years ago.
Yeah.
And the fact that this broker put them on the table to take pictures of them, I think was just...
It's crazy who can find success in this industry, dude. It's just about persistence, really. It really is just about keeping at it. You're eventually going to find somebody who'll work with you, dude.
I'm sorry. Now that you mentioned bad brokers, I got to vet 1 minute. I talk about Rhode Island brokers. Okay.
Please tell me about that, dude.
This isn't.
Please tell me about that.
Particularly around the Providence area. They don't care. They don't return phone calls. They send cousin Vinny to show the house for them. They can't even show up for the listing. It's a joke. I'm licensed in 3 states. So I do New York. Brokers are very respectful there. I do it in Massachusetts. Everything's going great. For some reason, and it's not all brokers, I find most of the good brokers are like licensed in Mass and Rhode Island that I do business with, and they're excellent. But some of the brokers in Rhode Island, they give you a hard time, and they try to tell me the houses, they got offers on it. I said, well, okay, then I'm not going to bring my customer over if you already have a deal on the table. Well, maybe you should just come over anyway. So you're lying to me then. You don't really have a deal on the table. You're trying to pressure my client into putting an offer in. Yeah. Don't lie to me. If you say you have an offer, I need to know, do you have an offer or not? Don't be a liar. And they just lie, and I'm just sorry to say that. It's my experience.
Fix yourself,
I'm
bro.
sure all Rhode Island brokers aren't like this. I'm a Rhode Island broker. I'm not like this.
Yeah,
so
technicality, dude.
If you want
to
buy property in Rhode Island, please talk to me. I will not treat you like that. And I'll help you get the best deal. Some great deals in Rhode Island.
Chill out.
And that's it. That's all we got.
Yeah. I mean, we could pretty much end it here. We're at 30 minutes.
Yeah. I think it was a great podcast. I want to say happy holidays to whatever you celebrate.
Hey, what's your plans for the holiday, dude? What are you doing?
We are going to chill. I always go crazy, and I make a bone-in prime rib for the family.
That's awesome.
That's why we do that on Christmas. We sit around and get fat mostly all day. And sometimes I also do a little turkey because I like to do turkey too. It's good to have that. I'm into the leftovers. And just going to work on cleaning up my database. I'll be honest with you, of buyers and sellers and cleaning up and getting ready. I'm going to work on contacting all of my customers from the past 2 or 3 years and just saying hello and wishing them a happy holidays.
Life of a real estate agent.
Yeah,
dude. That's
the
vacation plan.
My vacation plan is to contact my clients.
Yeah. Same. But, I'm doing it from Puerto Rico.
I love that. On the beach.
Absolutely not, dude. I'll be doing it like when I get home or something.
Okay.
If I'm going to the beach, I'm hanging out.
Well, I'd have to say this is going to be our last podcast for 2023, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. We'll see you guys next year and whatnot. I thank you,
2024.
everybody who's been here for this first year. It's been so much fun. We hope to continue growing with y'all, and bring you guys new material. We got a lot of stuff planned out, a lot of great ideas, and hopefully those are entertaining as heck.
Yeah.
So
we have some really awesome stuff coming out. I don't want to spoil it right now, but I'm just saying that you may be able to watch us on a lot of different platforms. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
That'd be fun, dude.
Yes, it's gonna be great.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
All right.
PopPropPod number 78 over.
That is my Patriots winning Super Bowl wave.
No, this is the princess wave.
Princess.
Hey, that's the microphone. Get out of here.
Ciao, Bella.
Cut